Hey, everybody, and thanks for joining Martha and me. Today, I want to talk to you about utilizing patterns in your painting. Patterns can be any number of things. They can be abstract shapes, they can be identifiable objects. We utilize patterns in our painting to unify, to simplify, to organize the individual shapes into units or configurations. Let me show you what I mean. When we paint a solitary object, we identify that object as a shape. When we paint a similar shape in color and value overlapping that shape, our eye welds the two shapes together into a single shape. However, if we continue to paint similar color and value overlapping shapes, our eye continues to weld these individual shapes into a pattern. The dictionary defines the word pattern as the arrangement of the parts of a thing. If we introduce a shape that varies dramatically in color and value from the other shapes, the pattern is broken. However, if the color is different, but the value is similar, the pattern is reestablished. In fact, often the pattern will benefit from the relief of a color contrast as long as the value belongs in the pattern. A pattern can be a series of positive shapes. A pattern can be a series of negative shapes. Patterns are visually effective as oblique shapes, shapes that are irregular as opposed to geometric shapes. Oblique shapes get longer and shorter, thicker and thinner. They change. Patterns can be recognizable shapes. Patterns can be abstract shapes. Patterns with vast value changes are dramatic. I love this quote by California watercolorist Milford Zorns. If you want your painting to be readable, put a lighter pattern next to a darker pattern, next to a lighter pattern, next to a darker pattern, etc. We see patterns all around us in nature, but almost always nature's patterns are incomplete. It's our job as artists to organize nature's patterns. This farm, just down the road from our daughter's house in Vermont, has a nice pattern of lights on the roofs of the buildings. The one building in the center right is a bit middle value, but can easily be adjusted as a light by the artist. The silo is also a welcome oval shape in contrast to the rectangular roofs, but it could use light adjustment as well. I'm also going to raise some hills up where the trees are behind the roofs to create some value change there. Nature gives us hints, but the patterns of nature almost always need adjustment by the artist. Notice, though the shadow pattern has color variety as well as temperature variety, it holds together because it's all very close in value. Also notice I placed the cool shadow pigment next to, not into, but next to the warm pigment as much as possible. Now I add permanent magenta to the mixture, so the stronger darks have color variety as well. Rather than using the photo as a reference, I'm thinking in terms of counterbalance on the page. Look how these darker mixtures make the buildings three-dimensional compared to the silo. The patterns of light on the roofs and ground, captured by the darker patterns above and below them, make the painting readable. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. And as always, Martha and I thank you for your continued support. See you soon.